Current Lady Vol head coach Kim Caldwell is proof you can't keep a strong woman down. Just days after delivering her first child, a son named Connor Scott, she was back to coaching the Lady Vols in SEC play. Well, Coach Caldwell's devotion to her new family, as well as her Lady Vol family, reminds us of another Lady Vol legend who famously welcomed her son with a delivery no one on Rocky Top will ever forget. Here's the story from those who lived it.
I put you in. What did I tell you to do? Then do it.
With her no-nonsense approach and that signature glare, the late pat-summitt always seemed in control of a situation.
This is a chance of a lifetime.
However, even the Lady Vol legend was left without a net on a recruiting trip to Pennsylvania. It was September of 1990 when she was nearing the end of her pregnancy.
Her water broke.
When they land, her water breaks.
Little did I know that Pat's water had broken.
That's right. Pat's water broke while in Pennsylvania, where she was recruiting one of the nation's top high school basketball players, Michelle Marciniak.
It was down to countdown, and I can remember I walked in her office, and she said, "Joan, I'm going to recruit Michelle tomorrow." And I said, "There's no way."
Marciniak says she knew something wasn't right. Other recruiters had taken their time with her. But Summitt and assistant coach Mickey DeMoss seemed rushed.
Mickey is flipping through a coffee table book. I mean, almost like speed dating. Like, here's where you're going to eat, here's where you're going to sleep. And she just was going a mile a minute. Pat was up and down. She was using the phone. She was using the bathroom. So I was like, what is going on here?
Finally, the famed coach leveled with Michelle and told her what was going on.
And she said, "Michelle, I'm afraid I'm going to have to cut this visit short." And I looked at her like, oh, okay. Now she's like really calm. She's like, "My water broke."
Michelle and her brother led the Tennessee coaches to the airport rather than a hospital only minutes from their home.
I look back in the rearview mirror and I'm like, "Steve, step on it. Like, go faster." Pat's feet are up on the dashboard of the passenger side and she's huffing and puffing. And I mean, I can't even imagine what's going on in that car.
Back in Knoxville, athletics director and Summitt's good friend Joan Cronin was waiting for the team to arrive.
RB called and said, "Joan, can you keep a secret? Pat's coming home. She's in labor." And I said, "I can keep a secret, and I'll be at the hospital by the time you get there."
Up in the air, Pat's nerves of steel were just fine. But according to the story, Mickey DeMoss was making sure she could be Pat's birthing coach.
Mickey reading a pamphlet on how to deliver a baby and taking a shot of whiskey.
The pilots wanted to land in Virginia. But Summitt, whose Lady Vols had months before famously lost out on a trip to the Final Four because of the Cavaliers, wanted none of it.
My mom said, "You will have a mad woman on your hands if you land this plane where the University of Virginia is."
Tyler Summitt has always heard the story of his less than typical delivery.
And it says emergency pat-summitt in labor with child on it. Yeah.
He says her determination to have him in Tennessee says everything about who she was as a coach and a mom.
She took a lot of pride in is being able to kind of combine the families. The Summitt family and the Lady Vol family were one in a lot of ways. And that story, I mean, the start of our family, that story was kind of the epitome of that.
Pat Summitt was a legend on so many levels. She died in June of 2016 after a long-fought battle with early-onset Alzheimer's. Tyler Summitt oversees the Pat Summitt Leadership Group website, which uses his mother's wisdom and principles to help others. And Michelle Marciniak created the Pedal for Alzheimer's nonprofit in memory of her coach and her friend. You can read that entire story right now at WBIR.com.